Hello, everyone, and welcome back to THMOTO, where today we're going to learn how to turn on a bike right after that. Thank you for joining me today. I am TH, and as I said, we're going to learn how to turn on a motorcycle today. How do you turn on a motorcycle? Well, let's find out right after we talk about really quickly our 1,000 subscriber giveaway. So, that will be happening, as the name implies, just as soon as we hit 1,000 subscribers. So if you want to be a part of that, make sure you subscribe to the channel. It's free. It only takes a second. You can do it right now in the time that it took me to talk about it. And then you will be included on this 1,000 subscriber giveaway just as soon as we hit 1,000. So exciting stuff to come. I'm excited to keep bringing you beginner rider content and just motorcycle content in general. And hopefully you're excited for the potential to win something just from watching YouTube videos. All right, so now that we got that out of the way, let's get started with how to turn on a motorcycle. So when you're going slow, it's pretty easy. It's just like a car. You turn the way you want to go. I turned the handlebar to the right, the bike went to the right. Here, I'm going slow. I'm going to turn the handlebars to the left, and the bike goes to the left. So as long as you are going slow, turn right, go right. Turn left, go left. Just like a car. You would turn the wheel in a car. I am turning the handlebars, which is turning the front wheel to the right to go to the right. And you turn to the left to go to the left. I'm also checking my mirrors, by the way, just to make sure there's no one behind me. But turning to the right on a bigger turn like this, especially, you're going to feel the bike lean when you turn. That's perfectly natural. Total, like it's going to happen. It's also natural to counter lean through that, especially on tighter turns, so the bike doesn't fall over. So the more that the bike like leans to the right, the more that you have to like plant your weight to stay upright or lean to the left a little bit to keep the bike from falling over. So just keep that in mind. I'm not really doing a tight turn, so I don't really need to worry about that. If I do this like a left U-turn though, I'll have to crank the handlebars all the way to the left, and you see the bike's leaning a lot. I'm like planting my right butt cheek down and just uh, keeping all my weight to the right side to make sure the bike does not turn or fall over. Excuse me. So we'll do that one more time. I'll just go around to the left. Bike leans. I'm counterweighting a little bit, and we're off. So it's really simple when you're down low in the RPMs, or sorry, the speedo. I think it's about less than 15 miles an hour before things get any different. So things will be just like a bicycle, just like a car, just like pretty much everything. You push the direction, or you turn the direction that you want to go, and it goes that way. So gonna slow down again for this right. This is a little bit less tight of a turn, so I'm not going to need to lean as much, but I'm going to turn to the right, and the bike goes to the right. It's leaning a little bit. I'm counterweighting. Oh, and we go. So it definitely takes some practice. It'll feel not that natural at first. When the bike starts leaning, you'll probably get a little bit scared if you're just learning how to do this. But you just keep your weight steady and keep it like towards the middle of the bike, or maybe a little bit the opposite direction, and the bike won't fall over. So now we're going to get into what you do at normal speeds, or like road speeds, not under 15 miles an hour. So the way that that works is completely the opposite. So um, you don't have to turn as much, but you have to turn in the opposite direction. So when we're in low speeds, if I turn the wheel to the right, it goes to the right. If I turn to the right at normal speeds, it goes to the left. So it's called counter steering. And let me get away from this car right here, and I will show you. So I'm in the middle of the lane. I want to go to the left, so I'm actually going to push the handlebar to the left. So again, pushing to the left turns the wheel to the right. So I turn right to go left, just like in Cars. You remember that scene from Cars when you're racing on the dirt? Anyways, so now I want to go to the right. I'm going to push to the right. So I push to the right, it goes to the right. Push to the left, it goes to the left. Counterintuitive, counter steering. You get used to it. Honestly, I still have to think about it a little bit. Like when I have, especially the faster I'm going, I like make sure that I'm like dialed in before the turn just to make sure that my car driving instincts don't kick in. And similar to car driving, the amount of steering input you have to put in is like directly related to how fast you're going. So when I'm going fast, I have to push more to turn the bike more. If I just push a little bit, then it's only going to lean a little bit, and that's how you uh, crash in a corner, is by not counter steering enough, not leaning enough. The bike will naturally lean. You don't have to lean the bike; it'll naturally lean when you push to the left or to the right. It automatically leans. And then how much it leans is dependent on not only the steering input that you put in, but the amount that you're leaning with it. So at lower speeds like this, I'm going to just push with my right hand. I don't have to push much, and I also don't have to lean at all because I'm going 40 miles an hour, and it's a very, very slight turn. Now, if I wanted to take the same turn at like, oh, I don't know, 120 miles an hour, I would have to push way more and lean way more to be able to make that turn. I was gonna say safely. 120 on that turn would not be safe, no matter how much I was leaning. But you get what I'm saying. In order to make the turn, I would have to push more and lean more. So there's two more ways to turn at normal speed. One of them I recommend and I actually do. The other one I don't recommend and I still do it sometimes. So take that with a grain of salt. We'll talk about it here in just a second. So the next thing that I do is when I want to go to the left, I'll pull the right handlebar. So see, I'm holding on with the right handlebar here, or to the right handlebar. I'm going to pull the right handlebar towards me, and that's going to move me to the left. I can push the right handlebar to the right, and the bike goes to the right. So I can go every direction with one hand. I can push to go, or push right to go right, or I can pull right to go left. Confused yet? Just try it. Honestly, it's not as hard as it seems, like, or as it sounds. It feels more natural to me actually to to pull right to go left. I don't know why. Maybe it's like my dirt bike past, or maybe it's something else. I have absolutely no idea. But when I'm in like a high speed turn and I want to go left, it's way easier for me to push or to pull right, excuse me. And then the same thing on the left. I can push left to go left. I can pull left to go right. So just try it. Like I said, it makes sense if you like think about it a little bit. So if I push the left handlebar, the wheel turns to the right. If I pull the right handlebar, the wheel turns to the right. So it's the same thing either way. And that's what I would do to go left. Push left to go left, pull right to go left. Push right to go right, pull left to go right. Again, there's no one behind me. If you can see my mirror, don't worry. Um, yeah, so that feels really natural to me. It might not feel natural to you. If it's way easier for you to just remember push left to go left, push right to go right, then by all means do that. I'm just telling you what I feel comfortable with, and what I feel comfortable with is, especially at higher speeds for now, is pulling the opposite direction. I don't know why, but I definitely do both. And at like really higher speeds, like if I'm taking a freeway corner at like 65, 75 plus, I will pull left to go right and push right to go right. So I kind of do both. And here's another U-turn. Here's another good chance to practice turning left to go left and U-turn and counterbalancing and all that fun stuff. So the last thing that I said that I would talk about is the one that I do not recommend. The one that I don't recommend is just leaning your body to make the motorcycle lean rather than doing any steering input. So I'm going straight right now. I want to change lanes to the left. All I'm going to do is like lean my body to the left. That's all I did. I did not turn my arms at all. The wheel will naturally turn itself, but it wasn't from me. So going back to the right, if I just move my like push with my left knee or like open up my hips and move to the right, then the bike goes to the right. The reason I don't recommend that is because it's pretty lazy. It doesn't you don't really have full control of when there's only so much, like if you want to change lanes quickly, there's only so much that you can lean to do it quickly. But if I like see how much the bike turns if I like actually push it, if I just move my hips, I can't really go that fast. If I do it with my arms, I can do it way faster. So I can maneuver a lot faster than if I just did it with my hips and my body. So I really don't recommend only using your body to lean. I definitely recommend leaning with your body in addition to the other methods. So if I lean to the right and I push right to go right, that's going to give me a lot more responsive experience in terms of changing lanes or turning than just pushing or leaning by itself. So here we're gonna get on the freeway here and I'm gonna turn to the right. I'm gonna pushing right to go right because I was going like 25 when I entered. I'm gonna lean a little bit and now we're gonna start turning the bike back upwards and see this, I'm not leaning at all. It's gradual enough left to where I didn't really have to lean my body. I'm just letting the bike lean for me. And now to get into the middle lane, I'm going to just push on the left handlebar and then go back up the straight. So I lean a little, I like lean just a little bit, and then I can actually stop the bike from turning by like moving my weight back up to the center. So it's it's steering input and leaning. And then the more you steer, the less you have to lean. And the more you lean, the less you have to steer. So the more that the bike leans, the more dangerous of a situation it is. Your suspension doesn't work the way that it's supposed to when the bike is sideways. It works the way it's supposed to when the bike is up and down. So when you're leaning the bike, if you hit a bump, if you hit a rock, if you hit some loose gravel or something, you're way more likely to wreck or to like have a, a scary experience than if the bike is leaning less. So all of that is to say, like, I'm at freeway speed right now. If I want to take a turn like this sweeping right up here, the more that I lean, the less the bike has to lean. That's technically safer. Although it might not feel safer at first and it might feel scary, like with your body hanging off the bike, it's technically safer than leaning the bike and trying to stay upright, because you may feel safe, you may be upright, but if something happens to the bike, then you're going to crash. So try to think about it that way. At slower speeds, yes, it's probably perfectly fine to just push the bike the direction you want to go. Don't lean, just stay upright. But the faster you go, the more that you really should be leaning. That's why you see people in MotoGP, you see the racers leaning all the way down and like dragging their knee on the track. That's because they have to lean, because otherwise the bike could come out from underneath them. They have to turn so sharp and so hard that they have to lean all the way over. But here on the street, we don't drag knee, because if we're doing that, we need to slow down. But here, like, I'm just gonna push to the left to go to the left, and I'm gonna stay up. I'm gonna stay upright because that's where I should be in this type of situation. And I think that comes naturally for me because of dirt biking in my past. Like, you don't really lean, and if you do, it's like leaning the opposite direction. Like, if your bike is to the right, you lean like hard to the left to stay to stay upright and to brace for the straightaway. At least that's the way that I always did it. Maybe that was wrong too, but I never did like motocross or anything like that. So um, could be totally wrong, but it didn't feel natural on a dirt bike to lean over. That's for sure. And it does not feel natural on the street to me either. So I'm gonna keep not doing that most of the time and trying to lean the like not so much lean the opposite direction, but keep my body weight in the middle, keep myself upright, except at higher speed turns. And at higher speed turns, all I'll really do is when I'm like tucking, I'll point my head in the direction that I want to go. So instead of like having my head in the middle here, if I'm turning to the left, I'll like put it to the left, like just over my phone here. And if I'm going to the right, I'll do it to the right, like just over or in this area right here. And then like gradually, like shift my body weight a little bit. I personally have never ever had to do more than that on the street. That's been my experience. I have never taken a corner so fast that I had to lean more than that through the corner on the freeway, on the street, or otherwise. Now, your experience may vary. Maybe you're braver and more daring and more uh, experienced in terms of this stuff, but I am scared crapless to do that. So I'm going to continue to not. But you definitely can if you want to lean more yourself rather than the bike. Like I can tuck a little bit, and then rather than like actually like move the bike over, I just leaned a little bit to the left, and then I was in this lane. So not my preferred method personally, but you do you, boo boo. So I really hope that this video was helpful for someone. I can tell you that turning definitely scared the crap out of me because I knew it was different and I'd never done it at this speed before, you know, doing it off road when, you know, yeah, you're going to break some bones and skin some knees and stuff on a dirt bike if you wreck, if you turn wrong, is a lot different than getting run over by a car or hit by a car or whatever you want to say. So I definitely want to make sure going into it that I knew as much as possible. So hopefully this will help you. Just get on the bike and practice, and it will definitely feel natural after some time, and you'll just instinctively know what to do. Listen to the bike and see like the way that it's leaning and what you feel like you should do. But you got to practice first. You got to practice stuff at slow speed because when it happens at high speed, you're not going to know what to do if you haven't practiced. So that is my recommendation. And like I said, thanks for watching, and hopefully this helped someone. The last thing that I'm going to close out with is a little bit more information about the giveaway. So, like I said, it will happen as soon as we hit 1,000 subscribers. I will make a video about that. It may still be a while. Who knows? It'll be a couple of days or weeks, but I think it'll probably still be a while. So you'll be hearing me talk about it for a while. But as we get closer and closer, we'll start to hype it up more, and we'll post the rules and all that fun stuff and give some stuff away just for watching free YouTube videos. Little token of my appreciation to say thanks for being here with me through my beginner rider journey and wanting to watch the stuff that I've made. And yeah, I hope that we can get to know each other better throughout this journey, and hopefully I can help you all if you're a beginner writer as well. Hopefully I can help you level up your skill in some way. But for now, going to work, excited for hockey season to start. We'll talk about that soon too for all of you people in Vegas. Can't wait for that video. But for now, I hope you all have a great day. Stay safe. I'll talk to you later. Peace.